of cloud cover here across downtown Cleveland this morning. This will eventually clear out a little bit. We've got some flurries that are trying to work back in, but overall doesn't really amount to a whole lot. It's really the wind that's going to be our biggest weather impact as we go through the rest of the day today and even into tomorrow, as yet again we track another little round of snow. And I say little because this isn't going to have a huge impact for a lot of us. But remember, Lake Erie, not frozen. Water temperatures sitting low to mid 40s. So when you have this colder air rushing over it, it makes it very easy to see some of those lake enhanced showers, snow showers more specifically, able to develop. But you'll tell that a lot of this really isn't making its way that far inland. Just a couple little spots here and there of some of that snow flurry activity. Most of the energy sitting well to our north, as it will as this system continues to progress here over the next 24 hours or so. But temperatures, they're cold. We're only sitting into the lower 30s for a lot of us. We're at 33 in Cleveland, Akron 32, Mansfield right now you're at 31, Sandusky 32, Ashtabula currently 33. But you factor in the wind and it feels more so like the teens to lower 20s. So make sure you're bundling up. You got to probably dig out all those warm weather gear because we've had a lucky chance to be able to put it away for the last several weeks. Winds are gusting right now upwards of 30 to 35 miles per hour. So keep that in mind. It's going to be pretty blustery if you are headed out to do some polling, especially later today. Make sure you've got the extra layers with you. Temperatures will eventually try to squeeze into the 40s. We'll walk you through how much longer it'll be before we see a more significant warm up coming up. But overall, this is going to be trending towards a thing of the past. Not completely. We're not completely done with it. As we look to tomorrow or even into Thursday, we've got a couple morning flurries possible. But for most, this shouldn't be a huge disruption, say, to that morning commute time. It is going to be pretty windy for the next 24 hours or so, and you'll notice a little bit of a drop in your temperatures from the low to mid 40s today to about 40 degrees at best for tomorrow, and certainly settling into some colder air by Thursday. But eventually, we are going to start to turn the page a little bit more, but we have to get rid of this area of low pressure first. Right now, it's responsible for generating a lot of these snow showers you see, and until it clears off to the east, we're still going to be dealing with its lingering effects, whether that be those small opportunities to pick up on some snow, or it is just a little bit more of that rain. Let's talk about the snow part of the forecast first. Here's your future view through the rest of the day today. You'll notice temperatures pretty much where they're at right now, lower to about middle 30s. We'll gain a couple of degrees here as we go through the early part of the afternoon, but for a lot of us, it's not going to be an overly warm day. Temperatures mid 40s at best out to the west, a little cooler closer to the east just because you're dealing with some of that colder air still rushing in over the lake, and you still have that isolated window. You could have a couple of those flurries around through the later part of today. Then those clouds will finally start to sink down towards the south. Briefly. Then we're going to see a little bit more of this moisture coming in by early tomorrow morning, but generally it's a very quiet overnight period. Temperatures are into the mid 30s to get your day started tomorrow, but you'll start to see some hints that we may have just a little bit of lake effect snow or lake enhancement around as we go through the day tomorrow. This is one of the reasons temperatures are going to stay just a little bit cooler, with highs only expected upper 30s to near 40. But again, because temperatures are above freezing, we don't anticipate much in the way of accumulation, especially on any of those road surfaces. Grassy areas, rooftops certainly could collect a little bit of that snow as we go through the day tomorrow. But overall, it's going to be more of just a pretty snow. You're seeing some of those flurries flying, and certainly we'll have to watch if we do get a more organized band, some reduction in visibility if you're out traveling, because winds will be gusting upwards of 30 plus miles per hour. But again, really not anticipating much in the way of additional snowfall accumulation. Then we just settle in to a very chilly period. Yes, Friday's kind of the anomaly there. Temperature's going to be back into the lower to middle 40s. But what you're going to notice is we're still well below average for this time of the year. And we're going to solidify those colder temperatures even as we look ahead towards this weekend. So the weekend in and of itself, not looking too bad. I do think we stay mainly dry, at least as the forecast stands right now. But we're going to have to wait until we get into the early part of this next work week to finally see some of those 50s return to the forecast. We'll walk you through more of what you can expect end of the week with that rain chance, because that may impact some of your Friday evening plans. Plus talk about how next week is shaping up coming up in the next half hour. For Northeast Ohio. I mean, this is the scene we've been dealing with to really kickstart the winter season. Now, of course, this won't last forever. We know spring is on the way. Officially, it begins at 11:06 p.m. tonight. And if you look back at recent data, this is the earliest spring that we've had, I believe, in 128 years. Very impressive, but things are going to change for us very quickly here as we go through the next couple of days. Yes, we still have a little bit of that snow on the ground, and you still might as we go through the course of today, even into tomorrow. But the good news is we're slowly starting to see some improvements. May not be drastic, but we'll take what we can get. We're going to stay mainly dry this evening. Couple flurries here and there possible this afternoon, but really just eyeing another chilly night. Temperatures back low to mid 30s across the area, and wind chills still going to be a factor as we go through the day tomorrow. So you dug out that warm weather gear the past couple of days. You're still going to need it even as we get through the end of the work week. But by Friday, we do start to turn a little bit of a corner. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a little bit. As for now, temperatures low to mid 30s all across the board. So if you are stepping out for some early lunch plans, definitely keep some of that warm weather gear with you. Hour by hour, we'll show you that, yeah, we gain a little bit of ground, but it's not going to be a significant warm up for many of us. Temperatures through the afternoon inching closer to the 40s. The farther west you are, the better the opportunity that we're talking mid 40s for your afternoon high. Farther east, maybe a bit more of a struggle to get closer to 40. And the whole reason is because we have a little bit of energy that's going to keep some of those clouds around for our eastern communities. So if you look closely, you can see a couple of those little flurries trying to inch closer to the Ohio, Pennsylvania state line. That's going to be the common theme as we go through the rest of the day today. Don't anticipate much in the way of accumulation out of it, but what you'll notice if you look towards our eastern zones is you could find a little bit of those snow flurries trying to mix in. But again, this is where your temperatures will sit later on this afternoon, where we can gain some ground, and it may take a little while, but how that all shapes up for us as we look ahead towards the end of the work week and into next week, we've got the new data coming up.